Hi, so sorry about the 20-minute delay. I was trying to do it on my laptop, but for some reason it is not working. So, anyways, today's Monday Funday video is actually about how the movie like Stars on Earth can relate to how I would compare that to my life. So I would say that that movie can kind of be related to any child or any human being for that matter who has gone through or experienced a learning disability. And so I would how I would relate to what has how that movie onto my own personal life, and this live stream I dedicate it to two people, my mom and my own coach, the universe guru, Mina Irfan. I dedicate this live stream to both of you. So, how I have thought about that movie and like my own life is that as a kid, when I was living, like discovering my own differently abled abilities, um, at that point in time, there was no awareness about what a learning disability is. I mean, there was, but it wasn't so. So, just like how in that movie, for those who have actually seen like Stars on Earth, that movie, the international movie from India, is that I was the country where I was born in, Denmark, Copenhagen. Um, when I was diagnosed with a learning disability, they had actually also misdiagnosed me, and they had told my mom that I will grow up to be someone extremely crazy and that I should be put in a mental institute, which obviously was a misdiagnosis, and it happens. You know, sometimes you fall through those cracks, right? So I was put, just like that child in that movie was sent to a boarding school, I was actually sent to a boarding school slash mental institute hospital as a kid. And over there, like at first I used to go there every single day, and then gradually they moved it to where I was living there. And I mean, I was 5 years old, I didn't know what was going on, and I mean, I have kind of always been a strong person, that I've never showed my emotions. So, like a more like a masculine energy type of a person. So, when that happened, I was like, okay, fine, but how I showed the reaction, how I acted up was, which doesn't, it's not in the movie, how that movie is different, is that I actually started peeing in my bed as a kid. Because I was obviously away from my family and I was looking for that, like, attention, and that's the only way I actually got the attention there. So, and I was there for a year, and when I was staying there, it was really weird. I mean, I didn't know why I was there. I mean, I was a kid. I know much better, but I could still sense that something was wrong. So just like in that movie, that kid was sent um, to a boarding school. I was there, and I obviously didn't have a magic teacher like who all of a sudden changed my life. Just like in that movie, the adult actor had changed the child's life by bringing up like how dyslexia impacts um, anyone's learning capacity and reading issues, challenges. So with me, like I totally was taken out of there because my mom was like, no, I am not gonna let my daughter be there, and she took me out, and she's like, no, I can't stay without my daughter. But in that movie, how that movie is different is that that child like was found by discovered by a teacher who worked at uh, a special school with children with Down syndrome and autism, and it was like that teacher kind of had the awareness of like, okay, what is dyslexia, how can we teach. And in the movie they show that there's a scene where the uh, parents, they come and visit the teacher and they're like, we care about our child. And the father comes and says, I care. And the teacher's like, how do you define care? He's like, yeah, my wife researched everything. She knows what dyslexia is. And then he says, no, care means that you tell your child, I love you, I'm there for you, regardless what happens, and give that child a hug. And that is the true meaning of care. Just doing all the research and sometimes not saying like what should be verbally said, because children, they're like sponges. Whatever you give them, they'll absorb it. I mean, for us adults, we have it slightly easier than them, but as like a child's perspective, it was kind of very difficult. So, and then later on, that teacher, when before in that movie there was another scene where that teacher, after he figured out what had happened to the child, he went and to visit the child's parents. He went to their home, and then the father was he asked the father, do you know what your son's problem is? And he gave like a whole like symptoms, but he didn't give what the actual diagnosis was. He's like, my son is acting up, my son is doing this. And then the teacher picked up a box of a game or a puzzle. I don't exactly remember what it was, but that's beside the point. He picked up something that was written in Chinese and went up to the man and said, read this. And he's like, it's written in Chinese, I can't read it. He's like, you're making drama now, you can read it. And he's like, read it. And the father kept on, of the child, kept on saying, I can't read it. And then the teacher was like, you're making a drama, you're making excuses. Just like how children are told that they're making drama and making excuses, not realizing that maybe the child can't read. And that is what kind of I had lived with for a long time, and I'm still suffering from it. That uh, reading, like when I pick up a textbook, I read something and I somehow skip sentences or skip words, and I think I've actually read it, but it's not because of what it is. So I sometimes have to listen to the audio version of the book or try to find something to better explain to me what it is. So I feel that as adults, we have those techniques and those accommodations. We know how to deal with that situation. But this is what I'm saying, that as like a whole person, at this point, I've realized that whatever happened back then, I can't change it, but I can help someone else that has gone through that similar, just like the child in the movie and how I have related it. And I can bring out the beauty, like what my strong points are, and help like other people who have like that same situation. So I really feel that that movie, like I just feel that that movie is a movie that's written about my life. But since it's written about my, it's literally, it is, it's written about my life, and it's what I've gone through as a child. And I remember it used to be so difficult. It was so difficult. It was so difficult. And I was like, why me? Why me? But eventually I learned, and I'm about to graduate with a bachelor's in psychology with a business management minor. And I got my a certified life coaching certification, and I am kind of like, making the most of it, and I'm trying to be perfect, and I know the world is very beautiful and perfect, and this is what I've experienced. And if anyone has any questions about uh, this comparison, my life comparison to this movie, then you guys are welcome to ask me, and I will see if I can open this up. So let me know if anyone actually has any questions, and I will try to answer them to the best capacity. And um, so, if anyone has any questions about um, how a child can, when what happens when a child goes through these situations and how to best deal with them and everything, then please do ask. But yes, it's literally that movie. Like every time I watch it, it makes me cry because I see my own self in that story. I see what I've gone through, and it's just so beautiful. This movie is so beautifully made. It's made about uplifting, being a mentor, and how you can bring out like someone's positivity and bring them into, give them a chance, teach them that everything is okay. I love you, and this is it's part of life, but you haven't done anything wrong, and everybody deserves happiness. So please do let me know if anyone has any questions about that, and I will try to answer them to my best abilities. And I'm still on live for a couple of minutes. So, um, any questions? Thanks. Um, But yeah, regardless, I just feel that there is a lesson behind everything. I take everything, not just a book, but I take a movie as a lesson too. Because since I'm kind of dyslexic, when I read a book, it's kind of very difficult for me. So I watch movies and documentaries that brings me awareness and that teaches me that all right, this is how we can be, and um, obviously, a male child with a learning disability goes through something slightly different than a female child with a learning disability. And my disability, how it impacted me also while I was a teenager, which I've kind of moved past it at this point and let it go, released it, was that in certain cultures they really don't understand how to deal with individuals who are differently abled. But I really feel that spreading this awareness and bringing it up front and saying that it's fine, eventually things work out, and we just need to, figure it out, go with the flow. And if we have to deselect people that are at that point not meant to be in our life because of their negative uh, influence or their negative energy, then bring out only the positive energy people, the people that can bring you in alignment with your own soul and your own body. And I have kind of been working on that too. And I feel that this is just an amazing transition to work on inner work and like learning and discovering and seeing where you can take it to the next level. And through my experiences, from what I've gone through in my childhood to all the stages of life, um, it will definitely bring it forth. And I think definitely many people, just like my colleague here, Ray, says that many people will benefit from it. I really feel that many people will benefit to learn and to have a platform to discover that different things can help different situations and different people. And I just totally I dedicate this video to my mother, um, and my own coach who I work with. Mina, you're great. You have literally inspired me to do the best work I can ever do. And mom, thank you. Thank you for giving me a chance and telling me education is important. I could have not done it without some of these people. And this video I will dedicate to all the people that have encouraged me and supported me throughout this. And I feel that they have been there and they can see the evolution that I've gone through, the positive energy. And like sometimes like these topics is just so sensitive. It's just like, I mean, I was actually thinking of doing this on YouTube too, but I knew that if I did this on YouTube and I started crying, it would not be a pretty face. So I feel that the people that have inspired me to help other people, to guide other people through this process, through this journey, and through my dedication, and they are the ones I owe my success to with my own motivation and encouragement, how I did this inner work. And thank you so much, all of you. And thank you. I really appreciate it. All right. Any questions? Anyways, take care, all of you guys, and hope to hear from you guys soon about this video. And I will do another comparison to another movie if you guys want to, because there's many movies out there that has the that can relate to disabilities that or differently able community. They can teach us that, look, if we encourage everybody out there and say, I am here, I love you, I will do whatever it takes to guide you, and I will try to see how I can guide you. I mean, I won't spoon feed it to you, but I will guide you through the process and encourage you. Then that's the best we can do for anyone, whether we're working with an adult who has who's differently abled, or a child, or a parent of someone with a child who are differently abled, or a spouse of someone who is differently abled. Because this is like a community. This is a community challenge, and this is something we all can get up and move past and say, no, we can do it. We are a team. We are a tribe. We can work together. Anyways, take care, you guys, and love you all. Bye bye.